Welcome to A Blind Date with Knowledge Series 2. We're hosting clinical research discussions across the region. I'm your host, Laura Brady. This is an introductory episode where I chat to the other members of the South Tees Trials laboratory team, my colleagues Sarah and Stephen, reviewing Series 1 and discussing some of our previous and continued goals and aims. I'm with Sarah Bircham and Stephen Liggett.
Hello.
Hello.
So, do you guys think that we achieved what we set out to do with the first set of conversations? I'll come to you first, Sarah.
Yeah, I think definitely we have. We've increased engagement with people that maybe wouldn't be aware of research if they hadn't listened to the podcast. Talking to the people in the main lab, there's definitely been increased engagement and interest into what we do and what different roles are within research.
It's good to see like that. The first series definitely helped us to define the goals more and notice where the gaps were in terms of like what we wanted to achieve.
I think our main goal was to increase awareness of research, but in terms of the podcast we didn't really have a set plan and idea. We were kind of just seeing sort of how it would be received by people, and I think a lot of people have interacted with it, and the interest in being involved has increased massively. So we have got a lot of interesting people lined up and a good range of research people.
The surprising thing has been the calibre of guests.
Yeah.
Because the first series was to speak to the real big researchers in the trust and to be so generous with the time, I think was really good. So thanks to the participants in the podcast. It's excellent.
And I think we're definitely on the way to increasing the engagement and having that there as a resource for people to go to. It's good to have a collection of those voices in one place.
Yeah.
Thinking back over those conversations with those guests, what do you think the highlights of the first series have been?
For me, it was podcast 1.
Yeah.
Set the bar that high, I think, was a fantastic achievement for myself and Laura, obviously.
Yeah.
It goes back to the first question, really. Like, to get so many good people on the podcast was a really fantastic highlight for me.
Yeah.
Even though there was only a few episodes, we got a good range of people from different areas within research within the trust and different positions, so it was nice to just get an idea of what their day-to-day role is and what they find important and what they feel for the future of research. So it covered a broad topic, so it was really interesting to find out. Yeah,
it was good because especially for me, I was quite new to the trust, and speaking to those people in different areas, you do kind of realise how much of a variety of different roles there are the trust, and speaking to those people in different areas, you do kind of realise how much of a variety of different roles there are and how expansive it is.
Do you think you being so new to the trust actually did drive it more?
I think so.
Because the questions you were asking were probably the questions that needed asking, or?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any sort of predetermined ideas of how things were going. So when I was sat in a room across from someone, it was they're basically starting from scratch with the knowledge there. So I definitely think that did help, and. For that reason as well, we've learned so much on the way, and I think that's why, season 2 coming up will be kind of more of the same in terms of collating those passionate voices and reaching a high calibre of guests, but definitely in terms of the sorts of questions we're asking and the sort of themes and topics that we're discussing, we've kind of definitely been able to define those a little bit more.
I think from that, I think one of the big successes is you and your questions and the way you research the people before you have the chats with them. It gives you a really good basis to plan sort of how you want the discussion to go and what needs to be covered, and I think it gives a really good basis for anyone who maybe doesn't know of the person.
Well, that was one of the driving forces behind doing that. I think, like, as we went through the even just series 1, it became more apparent that needed to be done. I think it was more because it was a little bit I didn't understand, to me, how people didn't already know that these professionals were so active in the way that they are. I didn't they were right next to us in the northeast, in our region, in our hospitals, doing these things every day, all the time. And I think that probably brings us on to like what will be taken forward, which is providing that platform for people to speak about the research that they're doing, because everyone's so tied up and busy and doing what they're doing. I think something like this can be really beneficial.
Yeah, I think it's helpful for the passion of research, and I think a lot of people look at research and if there's an extra task involved or a little extra bit of processing or whatever, that it is more work, but it does pay off, and the reward from it and the passion that you get from research is really important. So it should be as part of everybody's jobs, not as extra work for everybody.
Yeah, it's integrated.
For me, we just take forward the fact that the region is a fantastic place to work and to do your research. And Series 2 is going to kind of spread the net, speak to more people from different places throughout the region, and the more people that we bring together, it's just going to drive research in the northeast even more. So.
Yeah, I think what was really overwhelming and exciting was that everybody who we spoke to is tailoring their work to the local area as well, which is was an amazing thing to see, because sometimes we do in the north, we're subject to kind of being part of systems that weren't designed for us. So it's good that the people who especially who've been talking to have been tailoring their work.
So Laura, thanks for lining up the guests for Series 2. What can we expect from them, you think?
So I think Series 2 will again, it will just broaden the platform that we've created and provide that speaking place for people active in this vein. So it will become conversations about the translational aspects of research, about implementing the study findings, and what directs sort of the next steps of research, as well as the methods that we use to sort of share best practice and come together as a community to implement what's been found. And also we do have International Clinical Trials Day coming up, so we'll have a special episode for that, and some more spin-offs. Maybe the seagulls will make an appearance.
Seagulls.
Series 2, Blind Date with Knowledge, coming up.
Just for people to listen to it, I think would be an excellent start.
Yeah, that's the next push.
It's nice to see all the different aspects of it, and a different range of people. I'm excited to hear about the people in academia and across the alliance, and just to hear about different roles.
You just can't capture
You can't capture the magic.
You can't capture the enthusiasm and innovation that's involved with research in one conversation.
You can't. So maybe let's just stop trying.
Okay. No, I don't think yet. You can never stop trying. Once you got the research bug, you've got it. It's a non-curable disease.
Ago, didn't you?
Yeah, it's one of my catchphrases.
You get on the
research train, you can't get off.
You can't get off it. Yeah.
It's a one-way ticket to discovery. for listening and sticking with us as we develop this project. As always, please get in touch if you have any feedback. Enjoy the bloopers and catch you next time.
That is absolute tosh.
Okay,
I'm going to have to do that again.
That was a bit flat. If you're listening, reply to my emails.
Yeah. We did try. Chicken in the bread, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the chicken and the bread.
Yeah.